This one altcoin is extremely undervalued as whales begin to accumulate it. Is ETH about to become the next fastest altcoin and lead the altcoin season soon? Plus, this new altcoin that just released is getting a lot of attention from a lot of big names, and you're going to want to pay attention. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Hey, what's up you guys? Merry Christmas and happy holidays. I hope you're having a good day. Unfortunately, Bitcoin's not looking so great. We've had about 6 days of red candles. This is a more red Christmas than we were expecting. Hopefully we get some kind of bounce today on the New York Open for Christmas Eve, or maybe a bit of a bounce tomorrow on Christmas. Save us from more red candles. But we haven't had a very big bounce yet. We've had this one right here, but this has not been very much. So it's been a lot of red candles. We are kind of just slowly bleeding out. End of the year, a lot of people selling for taxes, a lot of people, readjusting their portfolios for 2025. So unfortunately, I do think it is possible that we do come down here into this blue box between $87,000 and $90,000, and maybe we take out some of these wicks and then we can kind of consolidate before the new year and then head in towards 2025. That's my plan so far. But so far, Arc Intelligence just said that Mt. Gox is moving more Bitcoin. Mt. Gox moved $49.3 million in Bitcoin this morning, distributing $19 million to 2 fresh wallets and moving $30.6 million into another wallet, 1MVM. So Mt. Gox currently holds $3.45 billion in Bitcoin. This is an exchange from many, many years ago that was hacked, and they're still working on distributions to the people who, received it, kind of like FTX. So at some point next year, this Bitcoin will be distributed back to holders. But unlike FTX, they are giving back Bitcoin, which can then be sold. But FTX is giving back cash, which can then be used to buy more altcoins and Bitcoin. So hopefully it evens out. FTX is coming in the next month. Mt. Gox is coming by, sometime by the end of next year. Hopefully. They've been pushing it back and pushing it back. But also at the same time, Michael Saylor has bought more Bitcoin. MicroStrategy acquired 5,262 Bitcoin for $561 million at an average price of $106,666 per Bitcoin, which is kind of crazy because we were only ever at that price for a couple of hours. So how he bought that much Bitcoin, he was literally the top right here. He was these top candles buying, and then it just collapsed afterwards. But he's always buying, so it's not a big deal for him. At some point, we're going to be higher than that. But it's just kind of crazy. And at the same time, MicroStrategy is also holding a special shareholder vote to sell more shares and to buy more Bitcoin. So he cannot be stopped. So Michael Saylor looking to sell even more, and he's trying to get as levered up as he possibly can. And just like this AI agent here says, Saylor's like that guy at the party who keeps buying more drinks when everyone else is ready to go home. Respect the conviction though, Bitcoin looking juicy. And then we have Sensei who's saying alt season is just getting started. 2017, 2021, and now it's happening again. The next 6 months could be the most profitable of your life. So these are the alt seasons from the past couple cycles, 2016 and 2017, where we had this breakout here. And the breakout comes from when you break out past the previous all-time high top in terms of the total 3 market cap. So we are at that level right now. We're seeing this breakout here. And just like we said in the video yesterday, usually the alt season starts after Christmas, after Bitcoin takes a bit of a breather. So hopefully in Q1, Bitcoin goes up a little bit more, then cools off, and alt season can really start and begin. Then we have Mateo who says, Sui just hit $2 billion in total value locked. So Sui is quickly rising up the ranks. It's number 3 after Bitcoin and Solana. So Sui is hitting insane numbers in total value locked. Sui is doing absolutely big numbers. And Sui also said, your favorite hub for easy cross-chain transfers just added another option. USDT has launched on the Sui bridge. Ethereum users can now enjoy easy, streamlined access to the Sui DeFi ecosystem by moving assets like ETH and USDT with their signature speed and the security of Sui. So Sui doing big things. And then Sui is actually looking great as well. Let me pull it up here. Sui is looking good. It's just like continuing upwards no matter what happens. So Sui, like we had this big sell-off and it's continuing upwards. And now we're just kind of making a bit of lower or higher lows right now. You can see all these highs being built up. And so I think we're probably going to head towards, I would say probably $5, $6 pretty soon. So Bitcoin can hold above $100,000. And I think Sui easily breaks $5 very soon. And then probably $6 and $7 in early January. By now, you've seen that big post-election pump into Bitcoin, taking it past $90,000. But did you notice that Sui is pumping massively as well? It's quickly become one of the leading alts in the market. Sui is killing it in all the big sectors it supports, such as DeFi, where Sui recently crossed $1.5 billion in TVL in record time. Sui's liquidity aggregator DeepBook also launched its Deep token in October. Sui's naming service is launching its NS token in November, with one of the biggest airdrops in the ecosystem so far, as well as gaming, where the new Sui Play OX1 will be the first handheld Web3 gaming device with pre-orders through the roof. And increased access globally with native USDC and Coinbase deposits and withdrawals means getting Sui and USDC no matter where you are is easier than ever. Sui even has a small but growing meme coin market for meme coin lovers. So if you haven't used Sui lately, go give it a try and follow Sui's X account for all the latest updates with a link down below. Then we have Dan Gambardella, who says BlackRock's Ethereum ETF now holds over 1 million ETH. This data, paired with the fact that ETH is still consolidating below an all-time high, is an altcoin season indicator like we've never seen before. So Ethereum consolidating underneath these highs. We've never broken out of the all-time high. I mean, we did on Solana, but we did not on Ethereum. We went to $4,100, but the all-time high is just about, what is it, 4,900, 4,800-ish. So we still haven't hit new all-time highs on ETH. It's very much underperforming so far this cycle, but maybe it's about to not underperform very soon. We are holding above this line, so we've broken through these boxes down here. We've come back up, and we are looking pretty good. We do look like, especially on the 12-hour chart, this is a great candle. So it looks like ETH is holding up better than Bitcoin actually is right now. So if we do head to new all-time highs very soon on ETH, that's when the altcoin season really begins. And then Quinton writes, ETH is the real underdog of the cycle. No hype, no interest, except massive accumulation. So a lot of big whales are accumulating, even though no one seems to be really interested in Ethereum. And Crypto Rover writes, breaking, BlackRock bought $89.51 million worth of Ethereum yesterday. And then Batman says, BlackRock has been accumulating ETH, purchasing over $300 million in the past 5 days. It seems institutional funds are now rotating into ETH, signaling growing confidence. This could be the momentum ETH needs to break its previous all-time high and start catching up to Bitcoin. About time. And this is a bit older, about 12 days ago, but Arkham writes, in the past 48 hours, BlackRock and Fidelity bought over $500 million of ETH. And then Cointelegraph writes, today, Trump-backed DeFi project, World Liberty Finance, buys the Ethereum dip, snapping up $2.5 million worth of Ethereum. So Ethereum could be having a comeback, especially in Q1. And actually, if we look at the Bitcoin price from last cycle, so this is when Bitcoin started really running up. So this is around Christmas last year. So you can see around Christmas last year, we had this huge run up into January, then a little bit of sell off around late January, and then a huge run into early February. And then from February through about May, we just kind of chopped, but like chopped around all-time highs. And during this time is when ETH really took off. So this time, you know, we can see February right here, all the way to around May. This is when ETH really took off, and that's when alt season happened. So Bitcoin went sideways, kind of chopped for a couple months. ETH really took off, and then altcoins really took off during this time as well. So we're going to be looking for something like this in early 2025. And then we have Usual. We're pleased to announce that Usual has closed a $10 million Series A funding round led by Binance Labs and Kraken Ventures. Together, we're building the foundation for a stablecoin renaissance. And Mario writes, Binance and Kraken go all in on Usual's $10 million stablecoin flex. Usual, which is the fastest growing stablecoin startup, is taking the stablecoin scene by storm, securing $10 million in a Series A funding round from Binance and Kraken. USD Zero is here to break the mold, back 1-to-1 by US Treasuries with an 80% yield, and profit going straight back to holders. This is the real deal, not the usual crypto pumping up stablecoins. Oh, and Usual's already pushing a $1 billion market cap. And they said after our launch ignited unprecedented momentum, Usual quietly reshaped the stablecoin landscape. Now ranking in the top 5 stablecoins in the world, we've overtaken Sky's USDS and Binance's FDUSD with more than $1.42 billion in TVL. This stablecoin renaissance just became Usual. And then Waz writes, highest APY stablecoin pools on Pendle are all Usual's USD Zero pools by 2x. Athena is now fueling their new USD TB into Usual. Usual has 2 times more TVL than Ondo. Usual stablecoin is the fastest growing in the top 10, and Usual is 6 times less market cap than Ondo and 7 times less market cap than ENA. Do the math. And then today, for an altcoin that's undervalued that whales are accumulating, we have Aave. So Chainlink recently said, introducing Chainlink Smart Value Recapture, a novel non-toxic MEV recapture solution for users of Chainlink's price feeds. The initial version was created in collaboration with BGD Labs, Flashbots, and other contributors to the Aave DAO. And then like we covered last week, we know that Trump's World Liberty Finance is buying ETH, Link, and Aave, and they actually are holding a bunch of Aave. They're holding, it's one of their biggest positions here. They're holding $2.28 million worth of Aave right now, so it's getting a big Trump pump. And then Mario actually writes, Aave's breakout, whales, dormant tokens, and big moves. Aave's blast passed $389 for the first time since 2021, riding a 49% pump in 24 hours. The game changer, dormant tokens are waking up, cutting Aave's mean dollar invested age and fueling major gains. 96% 30 days, 290% in a year. Big players are also making noise. Trump's DeFi project, World Liberty Finance, just bagged $1 million in aave at $297.8. With moves like Balancer v3 upgrades and Aave's ZK rollout plans on Linea, liquidity and adoption are set to level up. And then also we have DeFi Llama, which wrote from 2018 to May 2021. Compound led the lending category with $11 billion in total value locked. And then Aave's V2 rewards marked a turning point, and today it dominates with $22 billion in TVL, while Compound lags at $3 billion despite the release of its V3. Aave has broken back above here. I expect if we can hold this line around $360 and we can consolidate for a little bit, we will head back up. I'm sure more, World Liberty Finance and other whales will continue to purchase this. But Aave is doing so good, so much better than I thought it would this cycle. I think we probably will hit this all-time high sooner than later. So all-time high was $670. I think we will hit that probably in the first quarter of this year with how many big whales are loading up on Aave right now and the things that they're doing for DeFi. And then lastly today, we have the Hyperliquid situation. So if you've been on crypto Twitter, you've seen Hyperliquid everywhere, obviously. But more recently, there has been, talks of North Korean hackers. And so Cigar writes, TLDR of the Hyperliquid situation, the bad, wouldn't be surprised if North Korean hackers were looking at ways to attack. 3 out of 4 validators would need to be compromised to withdraw all $2.3 billion of USDC from the bridge. The good, 2 lines of defense can kick in to prevent money from being stolen should an attack happen. Circle can freeze attackers' addresses to prevent stolen money from being used. Arbitrum could roll back the chain to undo the attacks and restore the Hyperliquid bridge. And the takeaway, I wouldn't be full on panicking over this right now. There are guardrails in place should the worst possible outcome happen. It remains to be seen whether or not the validators can be compromised in the first place. I don't know anything about Hyperliquid's OPSEC, but I imagine they'd be quite good at it considering how critical each of these 4 validators is. And then ZachXBT actually writes, good luck getting Circle to quickly freeze for an incident and attempting to reach them outside of the 9 to 5 Eastern time hours. I have no input on Hyperliquid, just commenting on Circle because they're inefficient. And so Hyperliquid, we have a lot of outflows. As soon as that happened, a lot of outflows began. A lot of people started selling. A lot of whales were buying actually, and they weren't actually selling their airdrop. So a lot of people had a lot of money in Hyperliquid tokens. It was one of the best airdrops ever. But recently, after that news, a lot of people started selling and a lot of outflows came from Hyperliquid. So you can see the USDC outflows here as soon as this North Korean hacker FUD, happened. And so Hyperliquid isn't looking so great right now. We were looking amazing for a while, and this is around the time when, the Bitcoin started dumping and then the news of the North Korean FUD started to come out. And so we are kind of, holding underneath this resistance here. It looks like we might break down and come back down. I would be targeting, if we ever came down here, I don't know if we will because Hyperliquid has great tokenomics where they're buying back the token all the time. If we ever came back down to $18, I would love to pick it up. Not sure if we'll get this low, but I'm sure we probably will come down here if Bitcoin does come a little lower. So I'm sure we'll probably hit this, $23 range if the more FUD continues, more whales want to sell before the end of the year. And, all these things just add up and hopefully we come down here and take out some of these stops and then continue higher. So I'll be looking for Hyperliquid around $23 and I would love to get some stink bids somewhere around $18 if we ever get that low. But yeah, that is Hyperliquid and the FUD of the day for them. But overall, Bitcoin not looking the best. We are just kind of chopping down, not the best look for Bitcoin right now. We'll have to see what happens at New York Open and, over Christmas. I expect that we'll get some kind of bounce at some point, but we are probably just going to have a chop for the next week or so. So yeah, that's it. You might as well not trade, not do very much other than set bids for altcoins at lower limits and enjoy your holidays because it is very painful watching these charts. So I hope you guys have a great Christmas and I'll see you on Thursday.